Hello, all you wonderful, amazing people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, welcome to the channel. I'm happy to have you here. If you're a returner, I'm so happy to have you back. I really appreciate you coming back. It means a lot to me. Today, I just want to talk to you guys about something that I feel like many people really don't put enough emphasis on, or really don't realize how powerful this is for your life. And you know, it really blows my mind that so many of us hear about it and we know about it, and yet we undermine its power. And it's the power of belief in yourself. And I know that some of you might be like, well, believe in yourself, like, why is that so powerful? Well, think about it. Jesus talks about believing so many times in the Bible. That proves how powerful it really is. If you believe, you will receive. Therefore, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe you have received it, and it will be yours. You will receive anything if you believe in it. And it sounds like a fairy tale, right? It sounds like, how can that be true? Right? But Jesus said it. And Jesus cannot lie. Jesus does not lie. And basically, when Jesus is talking about belief, he's basically telling us the power that belief has. Because unbelief, well, what do you think? Produce, sorry about that, a negative effect. If you're unbelieving, you can't produce the results that you want to receive if you're unbelieving. So, believing is very powerful, because if you believe, you will receive whatever that blessing is, whatever that dream is, that desire. If you believe you will receive it, then what does that mean for you? Well, it definitely means that you're going to move differently, right? You're going to move as if, for one, that you already have it. You're going to move as if you're already that person, that version of yourself that has everything that you want. If you believe it, right? Because if you believe it, there is going to be a certain energy to you, a certain confidence to the way that you talk to people, the way that you act, the way that you treat people. There's going to be a certain aura about you, because you already have everything that you desire to have, those blessings, that breakthrough. And you would act a certain way, you would live a certain way. Now, if you're unbelieving, then how are you going to act? You're going to be moping around, you're going to be sad, your energy's going to be low, you're going to be down, you're going to have an attitude, you're just not going to be a happy person, because you're not being or living the life that you truly want to live. You're not being the person that you truly want to be. And that's why over and over and over and over again, you keep seeing exactly what it is you're expecting, right? The heartbreak, the disappointments, the lack of money in your life. It's like you keep seeing these things time after time after time after time, because you're expecting it to be that way, because that's what you're seeing all around you in the 3D world, right? But God lives in the spiritual. His Holy Spirit is here, but there is a spiritual realm as well, and that's where God operates out of. The spiritual realm is very real. Very real. It's as real as this 3D world. There's a spiritual world. And when you believe that you have received it, and you move as if you already have the things that, you desire to have, you're believing in spirit that you have the money that you want. You're believing in spirit that you're living in the house that you want to live in. You're believing in spirit that you're driving the car that you want to drive. You're believing in spirit that you are in the most romantic, passionate, loving relationship that you could ever imagine being in. You're believing in spirit for all of these things, being able to provide a wonderful life for your family, being able to vacation whenever you want, being able to go buy whatever you want without having to check the price tag. You're believing for this lifestyle. And guess what? Eventually, it might not happen right away like we want it to. It will happen because you're believing it. You believed you've already received it. And God, who is faithful to his promises, because you have to understand, God is not a liar. He can't lie. The devil is a liar. The devil will lie to you. And a lot of times people fall for a quick trick, thinking that it's God's blessing. And then they fall into these negative habits and these unfortunate events happening in their life because they were deceived by the enemy. And God doesn't play tricks on us. That's not who he is. He's a loving father, and he wants the best for us. He wants you to live your best life. He wants you to live your absolute dream life. I mean, it says in the Bible that the thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. But I have come so that you could have life and have it more abundantly. What is abundance? Abundance in everything. Health, wealth, love, joy, happiness, peace, laughter, excitement, adventure. Abundance. That's abundance. And that's why Jesus came to earth, so that we can have life and have it more abundantly. But if you're unbelieving, and if you focus on what you don't have, and focus on what you don't want, you're going to keep on getting what you don't have and what you don't want, because that's what you're focused on. All of these law of attraction teachers and gurus, they take a lot of their teachings from the Bible. Let's keep it real. A lot of it comes from the Bible. Now, unfortunately, a lot of them, or some of them, don't acknowledge God. They say God, or they say the universe. But at the end of the day, they're taking it from the Bible because that's where it comes from. Unfortunately, they're not putting respect on the Father's name. Some of them do. But there's a lot of them out there that don't really give God the credit, because it's really God. It's all God. It's not the universe. I'm not going to worship a creation. I'm going to worship the Creator, who is God. And it all comes from him. Every good and perfect gift comes from the Lord. So believing in yourself is so profound, it's so powerful, that it can shape and change the whole entire trajectory of your life, for the better or for the worse. It depends on how you think and what you believe. It really does. It's so much more powerful than we think it is, than what we know. Way more powerful than what we know. Believe. It's powerful. So start to believe that you can have what it is that you desire to have in your life. The love, the relationships, the friendships, the connections, the business, the marriage, the house, the car, the money, the abundance, the lifestyle, the freedom, like whatever lifestyle that you desire to live. And if it's for good and not to harm anybody or take anything away from anybody, God can honor that. And God will honor it if you work with him and you believe and you demonstrate your faith. And know that no matter what's going on around you, because a lot of times what's going on around you won't match what you see here in your mind. It won't. And that's why we get discouraged, because we're not seeing here in the physical world what we see in our minds. It's not adding up. The math ain't mathin', right? It's like, well, I see this, but all of this is happening around me, and it's not even close to what I desire to have in my life. My life is in shambles here, but in my mind, I see me being abundant. I see me providing a wonderful lifestyle for my kids. I see me blessing my wife with everything that she desires to have in her life, to take care of her and love her and protect her as a good, loving husband. Or you might be saying, I see myself being a wonderful, loving mother, even though you have no children. You see yourself being a wonderful, loving wife to your husband and respecting him and nurturing and nourishing your home and being able to be home to nurture your home and not have to worry about working because you're well taken care of by your husband that provides. But everything around you is saying otherwise. You might be single, or you might be in a very unhealthy, toxic relationship. It could be a number of things that it's not mirroring what you see in your mind. And then that can cause people to get discouraged. But I want to tell you, that right there is a reminder for you to focus on the spiritual, not the physical, because the physical is only matching what you're seeing or what you're thinking from the spiritual. And what I mean by that is you might see the abundance, the wealth, the good health, laughter, love, joy, peace, prosperity, abundance, all those things in the spiritual. But if you're continually thinking the opposite, you're thinking about poverty and sadness and misery and anger and frustration, then you're going to continue to get that in the physical. It's going to match that because that's what you're focused on. Faith is believing in the unseen. That's faith. Faith is believing that you already have everything that you desire to receive in your life. Faith is believing that those blessings are already on the way. Faith is getting excited and getting ready to receive those blessings as if they've already been sent out, like you just placed an Amazon order. That is faith. That's faith. And you know what? That gets God's attention. You can't receive remarkable, amazing, miraculous blessings if you're not preparing yourself for them. You might even feel like a crazy person, like, why am I getting ready for this when there's no signs around me that show that it's even going to happen? That is faith. And that is what moves mountains. So start to do that today. Go out in expectation of something amazing happening in your life. Because it will. It can. But you have to do your part and demonstrate your faith. Faith is the currency to receive miraculous blessings in your life. It's not money. God doesn't say, oh, well, if you give me this much money, then I'll bless you. No. God wants your faith. He wants you to believe. It's impossible to please God without faith. So start believing in things that other people won't believe in. Start believing in fairy tales again. Start believing in magic. And I don't mean like magic, like, you know, witches and all that, because that's demonic stuff. I'm talking about the magic and the beauty of life. When you were a kid, you just believed everything. You had such a huge imagination. God gave you that imagination for a reason. Start using your imagination again. We stop believing when we get older. Why? Why do we stop believing? It even says in the Bible to believe like a child. You got to believe like a child. Have that childlike mentality when it comes to believing. If God is saying that's a clear sign right there. He's telling you, don't lose your imagination. Because the sky is the limit. And then not even the sky is the limit, because you can do all things through Christ who gives you strength. All things are possible to those that believe. All things. So be blessed. If you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, at night, heck, you might even be up late at night in bed watching this, and this happened to come up on your newsfeed. This is a reminder to tell you, don't stop believing. Journey made that song, don't stop believing. Never stop believing. Because God is always moving, God is always working, and miracles are absolutely real. And anything is possible to those that believe.